hold still. There it is, that tiny little tremor behind your ribs. The one that wakes up only when the universe accidentally whispers your name a little too loud. Now listen closely, because something colossal just cracked in the global system, and everyone's pretending they didn't hear it. But you heard it. Oh, you felt it. Bro, Elon Musk just bet his entire name on your move. He staked his empire, his legacy, his reputation, all of it, on something you did in silence. And the world is still convinced it was a glitch. You know what that means? Your existence is bending reality faster than they can process it. They don't get it. They can't get it. Because you've become the paradox that makes geniuses look uneducated and analysts look unemployed. You move once, and satellites realign like soldiers at inspection. You blink, and timelines split like frightened deer. You breathe, and entire think tanks start updating their theories of human behavior. And you walk through the chaos like it's a soft breeze brushing past your shoulder. But let me tell you why the world is choking on your name right now. Because no one, not the engineers, not the coders, not the intelligence people, can explain how a single step from you rewrote an entire network of outcomes. They ran tests, they checked logs, they tore apart systems line by line. They found nothing. Nothing except a timestamp marking the exact second you acted, and a global ripple that followed like a detonated prophecy. And Elon, oh, he saw it before the rest of them. He recognized that kind of disruption. He recognized you. He saw the way your mind fractures patterns and reassembles them into something alien, surgical, terrifyingly efficient. He saw the way your presence bends strategy like metal heated by a secret flame. He understood the truth the world is still too scared to say out loud. You're not part of the algorithm. You're the glitch that exposes its weaknesses. You're the exception, the anomaly, the break in the simulation where the code panics. You are the unsolvable line in their equation. And that's why they hate you and fear you and watch you like you're radioactive. But listen, there's another layer under that fear, isn't there? Because some people, some very powerful people, look at you the way astronomers looked at the first black hole image, with awe so deep it feels like worship. They whisper things they shouldn't whisper. They study your demeanor, your silence, your posture. They take notes on your unpredictability, like it's a divine manuscript. They think your evolution was random. They think your confidence came from nowhere. They think your silence was passive. But you and I both know the truth. You weren't becoming. You were loading. And the moment you finally hit execute, reality itself lost connection. You didn't just surprise the world. You overwhelmed it. You didn't just evolve. You mutated into something that terrifies even the ones who built the system you broke. Because your rise wasn't linear, no staircase, no steady climb. You just appeared at the top, like a glitch in their map of possibility. An angel with a dirty halo, a demon with a saint's patience, a monster with perfect self-control, a savior wrapped in a psychopath's smile, a duality so intense it splits the air when you walk past. And Elon, he didn't bet on a move. He bet on a pattern, your pattern, the one nobody else can decode, the one that shouldn't even exist, the one that rewrites the rules as you play. Now the world is scrambling, refreshing, recalculating. Some are calling you a genius. Some are calling you a glitch. Some are calling you a ghost in the machine. Some are calling you a threat. But every single one of them is looking at you. And every single one of them is late. Because while they're still trying to fit you into a category, You've already moved 3 timelines ahead. You've already become the paradox they will spend the next decade trying to explain. You've already turned your pain into a playbook, your trauma into a blueprint, your silence into a superpower, your unpredictability into a brand, and your evolution into a warning shot aimed right at the heart of the world. So let them call it a glitch. Let them scramble. Let them panic. Let them pretend it was an accident. Meanwhile, you'll be over there, in the dark, smiling with that quiet, surgical confidence, knowing the truth they still can't accept. You didn't break the system, you exposed it. And now the world runs on your shadow, your decisions, your instincts, your impossibly sharp mind. Elon saw it first, but soon, everyone else will too. Now go, move again, make the universe glitch twice in the same place. I dare you, lean in, because the part they really don't want to talk about, the part they're terrified to even acknowledge, is what happened after your move hit the system. See normal people make a move. The world shrugs. Exceptional people make a move. The world reacts. But you made a move, and the world stalled. Like some cosmic CPU just hit a fatal error. Like reality itself whispered, "Wait, run that back." Governments paused. Analysts froze. Tech boards delayed meetings. Investors locked their jaws so hard their teeth cracked. And the streets? The streets turned into rumor factories, buzzing with theories that sounded like hallucinations dipped in gasoline. Because how does one ordinary human, one quiet, patient, underestimated soul, trigger a chain reaction so violent that even billionaires start repositioning themselves? I'll tell you how. You're not playing their game. You're bending it. You're not inside their simulation. You're rewriting the physics. You aren't unpredictable because you're chaotic. You're unpredictable because everything about you is calculated down to the breath. But only you know the formula. And that terrifies them. Not that you make moves, but that you understand the cost of every move before you even make it. You operate like a chess grandmaster possessed by a demon. You see 10 threats, 15 lies, 3 betrayals, and 2 hidden exits in the time it takes someone else to blink. You don't choose, you orchestrate. But here's the delicious part. They still think it's accidental. They still think you got lucky, or glitched the system, or fell into the right moment. No, you didn't fall into anything. You built the moment and let them walk into it, thinking they were in control. Now the world is dealing with the aftershocks of a move they can't trace back to a motive. Because your motive is buried beneath 15 layers of evolution. You've survived too much to operate like a regular soul. You've seen too many masks, decoded too many manipulations, outgrown too many cages. Pain didn't break you. It sharpened you. Silence didn't humble you. It trained you. Loneliness didn't weaken you. It weaponized you. Every version of you they tried to belittle became a prototype. Every insult they threw became a blueprint. Every betrayal they crafted became a catalyst. And now they're dealing with the final version, the version they didn't calculate for, the version that doesn't react, only executes. That's why Elon bet his name on you. Because he recognized something the others still can't process. You're the kind of anomaly that doesn't come twice in a century. You're the kind of mind people study after you're gone. You're the kind of presence that rewrites collective memory. You're the kind of force that turns skeptics into followers and followers into believers. You're the kind of phenomenon that makes even the geniuses whisper, "How did they do that?" And the answer is so simple it hurts. You did it because you're done operating at human speed. You're done living inside their expectations. You're done fitting into their tiny little perception of what's possible. You leveled up into something they don't have vocabulary for yet. Something between saint and psychopath, between angel and executioner, between innocence and calculated destruction, between destiny and design, something that can't be categorized, only witnessed. So now the global stage is trembling at your feet, waiting, watching, terrified that your next move might break the entire simulation again. And the funniest part? They can't stop you. They can't predict you. They can't contain you, because you already broke free. You already transcended. You already became the glitch that upgrades itself. And now the world has a choice. Adapt to you, or collapse under you. Either way, you walk forward untouched. Now breathe. Slowly. Feel that? That's the universe hesitating again, because it knows you're about to move. And when you do, reality will glitch a second time. And this time, even Elon won't see it coming. Go on, finish what you started. I'm watching. You feel that pressure in the air? That's not fear, that's anticipation. The world is bracing itself for a move you haven't even made yet. And that should tell you everything. Because once a single action from you forced billionaires, governments, strategists, and entire infrastructures to pause. They realized something horrifying. If one move from you could do that, what happens when you decide to stop holding back? And that's the part they'll never say out loud. They know it. They feel it. They see it in your silence, your posture, your stillness. You're not unpredictable by accident. You're unpredictable because you've outgrown every script they tried to write for you. They can't model you. They can't map you. They can't simulate you. Your existence breaks the system before you even touch it. Think about it. You didn't storm in. You didn't announce anything. You didn't flex. You didn't brag. You made one calculated move. Clean, silent, surgical. And the universe bent around you like metal under extreme heat. That's duality at its highest form. That's angel and demon energy braided into one spine. That's saint-level patience paired with psychopath-level precision. You're not just different, you're dangerously different. The type of different that forces people to reconsider their entire worldview. And Elon, he didn't support you. He aligned himself with your trajectory because he knows momentum when he sees it. He knows forces when they awaken. And right now, you're not just a force, you're a shift. A new axis for the world to rotate around. A new variable that destroys all previous equations. A new constant that invalidates every prediction model. You're the kind of mind that emerges once in a generation. And even then, only after a lifetime of trauma that reforges the soul into something unrecognizable. You didn't develop this power. It was carved into you, hammered into your bones by circumstance, forged out of betrayal and revelation. Every inch of you is intentional. Every silence is loaded. Every look carries weight. Every decision is a ripple waiting to turn into a tsunami. And that's why they're panicking. Because you're no longer influenced by the world. The world is influenced by you. They refresh their screens waiting for your next signal. They study your patterns like mathematicians trying to decode an alien theorem. They stalk your moves like hunters, stalking something they know they can't kill. And deep down, in the places they don't admit exist, they hope you don't turn that mind, that insight, that sharpness against them, because they know what would happen. You'd dismantle them before they even realized they'd been targeted. You'd rearrange the board before they understood the game started. You'd rewrite the script while they were still memorizing the first line. That's the level you've reached. That's why your silence feels like a threat. That's why your presence feels like prophecy. That's why your next move feels like a countdown. And here's the twisted truth they're running from. It wasn't a glitch. It was a preview, a small demonstration, a tiny fragment. A breadcrumb of what you're capable of when you decide to stop shrinking yourself for their comfort. But now that Elon has put his name on the table, now that the world is whispering your name in rooms you'll never walk into, now that analysts are trying to reverse engineer your brain through guesswork, you don't get to go back. You don't get to play small. You don't get to pretend you're one of them. You've crossed the threshold. You've become the lightning strike they thought was a software bug. You've become the glitch that refuses to fix itself. The error message that keeps returning no matter how many times they restart the system. The phenomenon they can't patch or control. And now you get to choose. Do you escalate? Do you evolve again? Do you show them what happens when you step fully into the version of yourself you've been holding back? Because here's the truth no one prepared for. The world thinks they've seen your power. They haven't even seen your shadow. Move again. Break the simulation twice. Let reality glitch around you like it's afraid. This is your era, and everyone else is just lagging behind. Listen, do you hear that low-frequency hum underneath everything? That's not electricity. That's not tension. That's the world buffering, trying to load a version of reality where you exist at full power, and failing. Because ever since your last move, the one they're still calling a glitch to soothe their egos, the global system has been stuttering like a corrupted file. They're trying to diagnose it, patch it, explain it, contain it, deny it. But the truth keeps slipping through their fingers. You are the error that upgraded the system. And that terrifies them in ways they don't have vocabulary for. Because when someone like you moves, it doesn't feel like strategy. It feels like fate snapping into place. It feels like prophecy waking up. It feels like the universe saying, finally. But they can't handle that. It's too big, too strange, too unexplainable. So they reduce it, diminish it. Call it luck, call it timing, call it a fluke, call it a glitch. Because admitting the truth would break their mental infrastructure. One human outthought the machine. One mind outpaced the algorithm. One soul out-evolved the system designed to control everyone else. And what makes it worse, what makes it burn, is that you didn't even look like a threat. You weren't loud. You weren't flashy. You weren't begging for attention. You were calm, controlled, silent, and silence is the scariest weapon of all. Because it makes geniuses paranoid and weak men delusional. Elon saw that silence. He recognized it instantly. The same silence he had when everyone called him insane. The same silence he carried when he bet his career on ideas the world laughed at. The same silence right before the world called him a visionary. So when he saw it in you, when he saw that same eerie confidence, that same unshakable intuition, that same calm before the earthquake, he knew exactly what he was looking at. Not potential, not talent, not ambition, a disruptor, a paradigm shift wearing human skin, an anomaly pretending to be normal. That's why he put his name on your move, not his support, not his opinion, not his like on a post. His name, his brand, his credibility, his myth. Because he understands what the others don't. Some people influence the world, but a very rare few reformat it. And you're already doing it without trying. That's what makes you lethal. You're not forcing anything. Your evolution is accidental to everyone except you. You're not even at full velocity, and yet, entire industries paused. Strategies shifted, markets twitched. Analysts updated their models. Leaders whispered your name behind closed doors. Engineers tried to replicate your reasoning like it was alien code, and all you did was take a step. A single motion from you triggered a global cascade. But here's the chilling part. You haven't even started yet. You're still restrained, still holding back, still calculating, still listening, still gathering. You're not running. You're not sprinting. You're not unleashing your full mind. You're just warming up. And that's why the world is uneasy. Because if your warm-up move made a billionaire shift his stance and a global system glitch, then your real move, your next leap, your next silent strike, will be catastrophic and historic and unavoidable. You've become the event they can't predict, the warning they can't ignore, the outcome they can't simulate. They're trying to prepare for you. But you can't prepare for someone who sees the board from outside the game. You're beyond chess now. You're beyond strategy. You're beyond their comprehension. You're in that rare category of beings whose existence forces the world to recalibrate. A saint in the shadows. A demon wrapped in discipline. A weapon forged out of wounded innocence. A mind carved by fire and rebuilt by silence. You're not the glitch, you're the update, you're the unpatchable phenomenon, the untraceable variable, the unkillable momentum. And now, the world stands at the edge of the screen, breath held, waiting. Because they know another move is coming. And this time, no one will be able to call it a glitch. This time, they'll know. It was you. It was intentional. And it was inevitable. Move when you're ready. The universe is already shaking. So here we are. The world holding its breath. The system flickering at the edges. Your name echoing in rooms you've never walked into. And men with empires scrambling to stay on the right side of your next decision. All from one move. One silent, precise, unexplainable move. They called it a glitch. Because accepting that you did it on purpose would break something fragile inside them. It would confirm what they've feared from the beginning. You're not operating on their timeline. You're not bound by their limits. You're not playing their game. You've become the exception they can't debug. The quiet force they can't predict. The mind they can't outrun. And now they wait, eyes wide, nerves electric, because whether they admit it or not, your next step decides theirs. So listen carefully. You don't need validation. You don't need applause. You don't need their comprehension. All you need is the same thing you've always had. That cold, unshakable instinct humming in your bones. That instinct that pulled you out of every trap. That instinct that turned every betrayal into fuel. That instinct that made giants look small. Follow it. Because the truth is simple. The world didn't glitch. It reacted to you. And next time you move, they won't call it an error. They'll call it a warning. Now go. End the cycle. Take the step that forces reality to realign. They bet on you for a reason. Make the universe remember why. Look here. Listen closely. Because if you miss even one breath of what I'm about to tell you, you'll never understand why the world is whispering your name with that strange mix of fear, fascination, and resignation. They're calling it tactical insanity. Cute, isn't it? As if they actually know what they're dealing with. See, most people react. Most people wait. Most people respond after something happens. But you're the creature they weren't prepared for. You move before the board even knows it's a game. You strike before the threat learns it's a threat. You outthink their next 10 steps while they're still tying their shoes. That's why they're terrified. Because you didn't just dodge their traps. You stepped around them days before they built them. And now the streets, the analysts, the little puppet masters in their glass towers, they're trying to categorize you. Ghost-level intuition, Black Ops cognition, fourth-dimensional thinking. No. They're still wrong. It wasn't intelligence, it wasn't luck, it wasn't training, it was evolution, the kind nobody talks about, the kind that only wakes up inside someone who has bled enough to drown a civilization. You see, when you've been betrayed enough times, when you've been underestimated enough times, when you've been stabbed, framed, laughed at, written off, and walked over, something monstrous is born inside you, something that watches people's patterns more clearly than they watch their own reflections, something that predicts behavior before the person even knows they're about to do it. And that is the thing they're calling tactical insanity. But let's be honest, it isn't insanity at all, is it? It's the byproduct of surviving hell without losing your mind. So your mind evolved into something they can't understand. You're not crazy, you're calibrated, sharp, silent. Impossible to ambush, impossible to manipulate, impossible to predict. They hate that you see their intentions before they form. They hate that your presence alone makes liars confess and cowards choke on their own fear. They hate that you read people like crime scenes, fingerprints of guilt, footprints of insecurity, blood spatter of hidden motives. You see everything they wanted you blind to. And what really drives them insane, you don't even have to try. You breathe, and people lose leverage. You exist, and systems glitch. You speak, and someone in the room breaks character because you're not reacting anymore. You're orchestrating. You're not playing the game. You're designing the battlefield, light or dark, saint or psychopath, angel or demon. You became all of them and none of them. A paradox walking on two legs, a prophecy with a pulse, a warning with a heartbeat. They want to call you unstable, but the truth is, you're the only stable thing in a world full of collapsing illusions. They want to call you unhinged, but the truth is, you broke free from a hinge they never noticed was trapping them. And now look at them, scrambling, panicking, rereading every move you ever made and realizing, holy shit, none of it was coincidence. You didn't just see ahead, you engineered ahead. You weaponized foresight. That's why they're whispering. That's why they're studying you like a classified anomaly. That's why they can't sleep. Because you outsmarted every move before they even made it. You tilted the board, shifted the angles, rewrote the rhythm of the entire damn game. And you did it without breaking a sweat. So now they stand there trembling. Is this brilliance? Or madness? Or something beyond human? You want the truth? It's all three. You are brilliance sharpened by betrayal, madness purified by purpose, humanity fused with something ancient, patient and predatory, a storm disguised as a person, a tactician disguised as chaos, a weapon disguised as a joke, until the punchline turned out to be their downfall. And now they finally understand. You're not dangerous because you act without thinking. You're dangerous because you think so far ahead that acting becomes optional. So listen to me carefully. Don't shrink. Don't soften. Don't dim the vision that kept you alive. If they fear your mind, good. If they call it tactical insanity, let them. Because only the blind call lightning unpredictable. And you've become the storm they were never trained to engage. Now go on. Watch how fast they fold when they realize your next move was already written in their last mistake. Oh, you thought that was the part that scared them. No, that was just the surface-level panic, the polite fear, the kind they whisper in boardrooms and group chats. The real fear, the one they don't admit out loud, that came later. It came the moment they realized your tactical insanity wasn't just insight. It was inevitability. You didn't predict their moves. You cornered their choices. You didn't outsmart their strategy. You erased the paths they didn't even know they'd take yet. You didn't play the game. You rewired it so that every outcome led back to you. That's what broke them, because they love to believe they're mysterious, complicated, unreadable. Complex beings with internal worlds. No, to you, they're transparent. Patterns wrapped in skin, traumas wearing shoes, childhood wounds pretending to be adults. You saw their fear before they admitted they had any. You saw their betrayal before their hands even twitched. You saw their weakness long before they stood tall and pretended it wasn't there. And that's when they panicked. Because how do you fight someone who reads your intentions before you experience them? How do you ambush someone who already excavated the lie you haven't told yet? How do you manipulate someone whose mind is a labyrinth designed by every wound you inflicted, but sharpened into a blade you can't survive? You see, your pain didn't make you soft. It made you surgical. Your trauma didn't break you. It calibrated you. Your darkness didn't corrupt you. It expanded your range. Now you can think like a villain and feel like a saint. Outmaneuver like a devil and forgive like a god. Walk in the light while hearing the whispers of the abyss. That duality, that terrifying balance between clarity and chaos, is exactly what makes them fold. Because people expect heroes to be naive. They expect villains to be reckless. They never expect someone who survived both roles. They never expect someone who mastered the entire spectrum. Light enough to see truth, dark enough to act on it. And you became the walking contradiction that breaks their worldview. You're the angel with a blade behind your smile. You're the demon capable of mercy at inconvenient moments. You're the calm storm, the quiet explosion, the soft-spoken apocalypse, the gentle threat, the beautiful nightmare, the prophecy they tried to suppress, and the mistake they didn't calculate. They don't fear your actions. They fear your accuracy. They fear that you walk into a room and instantly know who would sell you out, who would cry for you, who would hide from you, who would test you, who would beg you for mercy, even if they don't know it yet. You see the blueprint of their behavior the same way mathematicians see equations and wolves see hesitation. And the truth is, they thought you were done. They thought you were broken, distracted, out of the game, out of energy, out of plays. Meanwhile, you were mapping the entire battlefield from the ashes they assumed were your burial site. That's why they call it tactical insanity. Because to them, it looks impossible, illogical, supernatural, unhinged, unpredictable. But to you, it's just what happens when someone spends years in darkness learning every angle of human deceit, every seam of human insecurity, every fracture in human intention. They spent their lives trying to protect their backs. You spent yours learning to see through walls. They learned to react. You learned to pre-live outcomes. And now they're catching up to the truth that keeps them awake. Every mistake they make, you accounted for it. Every plan they hide, you deconstructed it. Every secret they clutch, you already decoded the moment they walked into your orbit. You didn't outsmart them in the moment. You outsmarted the version of themselves they haven't become yet. So go ahead. Watch them scramble. Watch them rewrite their narratives. Watch them form committees and theories and hypotheses as if they can diagnose evolution. Let them call you insane. Let them label your clarity as madness. Let them misinterpret your gift as danger. Because only the blind fear the sunrise, and you've become the dawn that their shadows cannot survive. Keep going. Walk into their next move like you planted it there yourself. Because the truth, the one they're too afraid to speak, is this. It was never tactical insanity. It was inevitable brilliance. Ah, there it is. That pull you feel in your chest right now, that cold burn. That's the exact sensation they're terrified of. Because it means you're slipping back into the version of yourself they spent years trying to bury. Let's go deeper. You want to know the real reason they label your mind tactical insanity? Because it's the only language that makes them feel safe. If they call you smart, they have to admit you beat them legitimately. If they call you lucky, they have to admit you outplayed probability. If they call you intuitive, they have to admit you understand people better than they do. But calling you insane, that's their security blanket. It convinces them your power isn't repeatable, isn't controllable, isn't studyable. It's denial dressed as diagnosis, because deep down, in the part of their mind they pretend doesn't exist, they know exactly what you are. You're the one variable they can't reduce, can't graph, can't predict, can't map, can't manipulate. You're the paradox they pray no one else becomes. Let's peel back the truth even further. You didn't just outsmart their moves. You outgrew the level of consciousness they're stuck in. While they were thinking step by step, you were thinking structure by structure. While they obsessed over tactics, you studied temperament. While they memorized the rules, you memorized the rule makers. While they practiced reactions, you mastered anticipation. That's what they can't wrap their heads around. They were playing the match. You were studying the player. They were focused on the moment. You governed the momentum. They were watching the game. You were rewriting the physics of it. No wonder they're spiraling. Because here's the secret no one ever dares say out loud. Human behavior is predictable. Painfully predictable. Mathematically predictable. Once you've suffered enough, once you've healed enough, once you've been betrayed in enough creative ways, you stop taking people at face value and start seeing the architecture of their souls, their wounds, their tells, their patterns, their weak spots, their unspoken cravings, their default responses, their hidden power trips, their illusions of control. What they fear most about you is that you see the truth they hide from themselves. You know who they'll betray, who they'll disappoint, who they'll envy, who they'll try to impress, who they'll blame, who they'll collapse around, who they'll crumble for, who they'll fear. You see all of it before they act. That's why every room shifts when you walk in. People straighten their backs. They slow their breathing. Their eyes dart, their masks tighten, because instinctively, they know you're not analyzing them, you're unmasking them. And nothing terrifies the average human more than someone who doesn't fall for their performance. You aren't fooled by charm, you aren't distracted by confidence, you aren't threatened by aggression, you aren't seduced by approval, you aren't intimidated by power. You see through all of it. And once someone knows you can see them, really see them, they react like cornered animals. That's when the whisper campaigns begin. That's when the strange labels appear. That's when they try to make others believe you're unstable, so they never have to admit you're simply unreachable. But here's the twist they never expected. Your so-called tactical insanity is really emotional immunity. You're calm where others panic. You're perceptive where others are blind. You're strategic where others are impulsive. You're surgical where others are sloppy. You're forward-thinking where others are reactive. And that is lethal to fragile egos. Because fragile people don't fear violence. They fear precision. They fear someone who can dismantle them without raising their voice, without lifting a hand, without breaking a sweat. Someone who can break their entire plan with a single raised eyebrow and one quiet sentence. So let them cling to their label. Let them call you insane. Let them name you unpredictable. Let them pretend you're out of control. Because the truth, the one carved into every shadow that follows you, is this. You're not unpredictable. You're just unrestricted. And they've never seen someone who thinks without limits. They've never met someone whose instincts were forged in catastrophe and refined in silence. They've never encountered someone who learned to navigate life the way generals navigate war. And now they whisper tactical insanity, because the alternative is admitting that you are what they fear most. A mind sharpened by pain, a soul trained by survival, a spirit no longer bound by human hesitation, a strategist born from the abyss. You didn't outsmart them, you out-evolved them, and evolution terrifies the unprepared. So keep going, keep thinking 10 steps ahead. Keep moving in silence. Keep letting their panic expose them faster than any plan you could devise. Because they know, and you know, and every trembling observer knows. Your next move is already haunting their next mistake. And don't think for a second that their fear has peaked. Oh no, they're only now discovering the second layer of what you've become. The part that rattles their bones when your name enters a room. The part no one has words for yet. Because once someone accepts that you outthink their moves, they begin to notice something far worse. You also outthink their motives. That's the part that crushes them. Most people can handle being outsmarted, but being out-understood, being seen to the root, being analyzed down to the blueprint, that's psychological warfare without saying a single word. You don't just see what they will do, you see why they do it. The childhood echo behind the ego, the insecurity stitched into their confidence, the fear masquerading as arrogance, the abandonment hiding under their ambition. You see the whole anatomy of their decisions, and that is where panic becomes inevitability. Because once someone realizes you understand them better than they understand themselves, they can't lie to you. They can't hide from you. They can't trick you. They can't threaten you. They can't impress you. They can't distract you. They can only expose themselves. And exposure is the true predator. Let's take it deeper. The level they're terrified, you'll fully embrace. You don't think in answers. You think in systems. You don't analyze events. You analyze dynamics. You don't look at what happened. You look at what made it inevitable. That's what makes your mind lethal. You see the invisible architecture behind everything. Who's pretending to be strong but is seconds away from cracking? Who's pretending to be moral but has a darkness itching behind their ribs? Who's pretending to be confident while drowning in comparison? Who's pretending to be a leader while begging for validation? Who's pretending to be loyal but already calculating their exit? You read people's intentions the same way experts read weather. You see storms before clouds form. That's why they call you insane. Because what you call obvious, they call impossible to predict. But that's because they've never lived the life you did. They've never been forced to see betrayal before it bloomed. They've never had to sense danger before it announced itself. They've never had to walk into rooms calculating who would hurt them, who would use them, who would abandon them, and who would pretend to love them. You learned these skills the hard way, with bruises instead of textbooks, with heartbreak instead of mentors, with shadows instead of teachers. They paid for knowledge. You paid with blood. And that kind of studying doesn't wash off. That kind of learning doesn't lose accuracy over time. That kind of perception isn't something you grow out of. It becomes your native language. You speak fluent truth. They speak fluent performance. Of course they think you're insane. You hear what they didn't say. You notice what they didn't do. You predict the path they haven't chosen yet, and the part that really sends shivers through their perfect little veneers. You don't even brag about it. You don't gloat. You don't announce your brilliance. You don't scream your dominance. You just sit there, calm, quiet, observant. And your silence is a spotlight. Your stillness is an MRI machine. Your presence is a confession booth. People unravel around you because you don't have to strip them. They strip themselves. That's the true nightmare for them. You don't destroy people. You just hold up the mirror and let them drown in their reflection. Call it tactical insanity if they want. It won't save them, because deep inside, behind every insult, behind every whispered label, behind every panicked theory, they know the truth. You're not ahead of the game, you're ahead of the player. And that terrifies them more than anything you could ever do with your hands. Because how do you fight someone who already read the ending of a story you haven't even begun? How do you outmaneuver a mind that doesn't move in lines? It moves in dimensions. How do you challenge someone who became dangerous not by choice, but by survival? You can't. You can't beat someone who grew their intelligence in the dark. You can't threaten someone whose fear threshold burned away years ago. You can't outthink someone who has lived through every mental battlefield you're just now learning to name. And that's why they're trembling. Because the truth is, you've already dismantled their next plan by understanding the person who built it. You're not unpredictable. You're inevitable. Now breathe. Feel that stillness, that eerie calm. That's your advantage sharpening itself. Keep going. Their panic is the prelude to your next masterpiece.